Okay, back on it. A little later start today, but it's an overcast day. It's not too hot to work, so just want to show you what's going on. I spent a little time. Let me see if I can open this. The gap is still good. Spent a little time polishing that up with the die grinder, the angle grinder there. It's getting better, but I was watching a video last night. The channel is Wally's Working. And he did a 57, I don't know if he's a GMC or a Chevy, but the mistake I've made is I filled this in. There should be a notch here where I could fit the, I can't show you with one hand, but to get the cab corner to sit behind there. I'm trying to do this with my knee. I got to notch this right here. I filled that in with lead right here. There should be a notch. And then the cab corner slips behind there because I'm getting ready to fit this up. I am going to cut this up higher over here, get rid of this dent. So I might just notch it like that. I don't know. I could also notch it here and leave this behind. But there's 2 spot welds, maybe 3 that I got to come out. But that polished up pretty good. It could be a lot better. It just takes time, and I can do that later. I want to get started on this cab corner. First thing I got to do is try to figure out how to cut that notch back in without ruining whatever I've got over here. So I'm thinking maybe a Sawzall or saber saw thin blade might be the way to start it out, and then I could file it open as I need to go. So I got the notch cut in, and I'm realizing it's still not going together the way I want to. And I'm not sure if I'm supposed to trim off that piece right there or trim off those returns so that this fits tight inside of there. So I went and just watched Wally's Working, watched his. I should probably go watch someone else because there's like 3 other guys doing the same thing before I start cutting away at this. I don't know whether to remove that return. I think that's the way to go, and then this slides over it and matches up. Well, the fit up's turning out to be a lot more than I expected. Now I've notched this. I've cut away some of this return. I'm trying to get that thing to fit. It's just about starting to go, but I think I'm at the point where I have to cut the cab corner down. See how huge that is. It goes all the way up to here. I only need it to go here to where the green line is, maybe. I think I'm starting to hear the rain come, so I might have to stop for the day. I'm on a real roll here, and it's lunchtime, and I want to stop, but I can't. I really want to get this at least look like it's going to fit and all come together. You can kind of see what I'm talking about here. I've cut away too much on the top there. I can't point because I'm holding the camera and holding the cab corner with the other hand. But the body line's supposed to line up, so the cab corner's got to come up about 1/8 of an inch. I'm tempted to try to kick it, but I'll probably fall over. And yeah, so there's got to be a little bit more work in here done. I can see here was some interference in there, right in there. This will all work out. It's just a matter of time and patience. So I'll get it. Just give me some time. So I kind of got this hanging in place where I can kind of point with one hand. I like this gap here. That's fine. Kind of looks like a factory gap. Maybe I could fill in the back side there. If I turn the camera, you see it really doesn't touch anything. It's just hanging loose back there. But the return here files in behind there. But when I turn the camera this way, you can see it's kind of sticking away from the body line there. And maybe I have to hammer that in, but if I hammer it in, it's going to pull this. This is nice and flush. This body line's close, but it's only hanging in place. So if I raise it up, this line's supposed to follow this line here. So I'm down. I can't push it up with one hand. So I'm just saying I'm getting close. I'm getting close. It's all going to come together. But I think at this point maybe should cut away the portion of the cab corner that I'm not going to use. I should kind of draw the line, and whatever I'm not going to use, make it go away. Alright, so I've cut down the patch panel, and I've given it another test fit, and I'm not 100% thrilled, but I can work with what I've got now. And I think what I'm going to try to do next is make the cut on the body, the original, to match that. Now I like the way it kind of fits. This corner is a little off because, you know, it's sitting on top of the panel that's just going to be removed. So once everything's out of the way, it should line up pretty well from what I can see. And then maybe I could, you know, even tack it in today. That'd be awesome. I think the next step though is I'm going to mark where the body panel meets here, and then get the wire wheel and just clean the paint off before I make my cut, just to make sure everything under there is good. So I'm going to get that, get my scribe, just make a line, and then wire wheel it off. Part of my hand in the way there. So I was tempted to leave this cut the way it was and not go up and cover this and just Bondo it in later like the other guy did. And I'm glad I did. I sanded off this, and looking on the back side, see I got the rust right up into there. So I'm going to be into good metal on the back side. So it's a good thing I wire wheeled everything out. And I think I left enough patch that I'll get into good metal everywhere. And it should go okay. So now I think it's a matter of scribing the line and making the cut. So I like the way that fit up pretty well. And I think I'm about ready to make a cut. I've scribed the line here. But what makes me super nervous is right here, this corner. Is it going to lay into that when the time comes? When I remove all this metal and this is really pushed out, or, you know, flush. This is flush. Is it going to be able to be flush with this corner? This corner looks a little sharper. Am I going to have to hammer the shit out of it and then hide it with Bondo? I don't know. Guess we're going to find out, because I'm about to make a cut. Make this cab corner go, what's left of the cab corner go away. In fact, I'll just show you. There we go. I just got off the phone with Joe Sousa. Gave me an idea for eliminating this altogether. Instead of rebuilding it or buying a new one, just eliminate it and extend the floor inside the cab. So I'm considering that. But right now, my priority is to get this cab corner on and tacked in. And hopefully the body lines line up. So let's make a cut. So now I'm at the point I'm trying to fit this corner in. So I got the bottom where I want it. I got the top cut away. See, I got to splice these two guys together. There's the corner. Now, if you look real close, I think this corner curve, or the bend, is not as sharp as a factory bend. So I'm wondering if I need to go and tweak that with like a hammer and dolly, or put it in a vise and just like try to sharpen that bend. And as I come around here, I haven't cut any of this yet, but it's this corner where my finger is going to line up perfectly with the corner of the thing. I guess we're going to find out. I know some people have trouble with that, and they got to splice and bang and hammer and dolly and make it work. So I'll do what I got to do to make this work. Seems to be coming along. Well, getting ready to wrap it up for today. I think I have some fitment issues. I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to watch some videos before I get into really cutting on this, because I don't want to have to do it 3 times instead of the usual twice. But before I wrap it up, I'm really curious about how much Bondo is on that door. And I'm wondering if it's a rot-through hole. Can I use that hole to access the back of that nut that's stripped out and welded a new nut? I'm wondering. I'm really curious about that, if that could be done. So before I wrap this up, I might just hit that with the wire wheel just to see the Bondo come off of it. But I got to go and get my dust mask, because the Bondo dust is really not something I really want to breathe. So stand by. Wow, that's a lot of Bondo. This has got to be almost 3/4 of an inch thick over here. And but the good news, bad news is, good news it's a lot. Bad news is a lot of Bondo. The good news is it's not rusted. It's just a dent. Instead of pulling it out, they opted to fill it, which is fine. What do I care? I might invest in one of those. I think it's Vivor makes the thing to pull it out, the welding tool that spot welds a stud, and not a stud gun, but it's like a fulcrum and lever type of thing. And I think I'd like to try that, just to pull out that dent, just to see if I could do it. I'm curious. But look at all the powder on the ground. They must have went through a can of Bondo to fill that. But I get it. I mean, you can't get to the other side to pound it out. Just by comparison, there was a huge dent here, and I just took the access panel out and tapped on it, and now there's just a little dent here, which if I get that tool, I could pull on that maybe. So if anybody wants to remind me what that tool, who makes that tool, and where to get it, I'm sure you wouldn't mind putting a comment in. And I'm just, see, now I'm really tempted to go after this fender as well, but I gotta stop. I'll be here all day. Look at that dust pile. All right, that was fun. Thanks for watching.